I'm going to Ohio. And it's kind of weird because I'm going to Ohio for like one day to drop my truck off and then fly back here so that we can drive to Ohio with all our belongings and stay there forever. I'm turning around because I realized I forgot my Easy Pass. That's one of those things. It was a profound moment of taking the first turn out onto Jefferson. And now it's less profound because I gotta go back home and grab this thing I forgot. Back on the road. It's an interesting thing to feel. I don't even know. There's so many things that I feel. Because leaving Virginia is a decidedly difficult thing to do. And it's difficult because, not because we like Virginia particularly, we don't. But I think it's the same with any location that you call home for any amount of time. It's the people that make it home. And we got to be part of such a good church here, and leaving these people is hard. It's just strange. It's strange. I stopped again. You know, I get so mad at my kids when we're trying to leave to go somewhere and everyone has to go to the bathroom and then we have to stop for coffee and then we have to... I left the house, I don't know, an hour ago. Forgot the Easy Pass. Had to stop and get sunglasses and a coffee because I'm bougie. But it's my trip and I can do what I want. I'm gonna smoke this Perdomo Reserve. This is the 10th anniversary. It's champagne. It smells delicious. There it is. All right. I have my cigar. I have my cup of coffee. I have my smelling salts. In case I fall asleep. I'm gonna put some music on and go.
I've strapped my ladders to my roof rack and shoved my toolkits into the cab about 1,000,000 times before, but it was weird this time. The whole way to Ohio, my big blue Ford, heavy laden with ladders and kit, cruise control locked in at 75, and the entire rig rattling and shaking like a spaceship reaching some kind of terminal velocity. I couldn't help but think about how, soon enough, I'd be packing my little family into the van in a similar way. Only this time the rattling and shaking won't be from the ladder rack and the screwdriver knocking insufferably against the coffee cup that somehow got lost in my tool bag. This time the shuddering and rocking will be my kids and their longings, their need for someone to be close and for the surety that everything's gonna work out. This time it'll be my wife who speaks quietly of trust in uncertainty. These are the kinds of things that plague the mind of a hopeless romantic. I've traveled the route often. In my growing up years, the Outer Banks was the family vacation spot, and Newport News, where we've now lived for the last 5 years, claimed much real estate on the signage directing us to the coast. The name earned the ridicule of we the youths. Who would give a city such a clunky name? It's up there with Hagerstown and Beaver Falls. One of the most familiar stops on the route is Breezewood in Pennsylvania. It is the very definition of a pass-through town. It's where you stop heading east and turn south if you're going to the beach. The opposite if you're going back home, obviously. Anyway, Breezewood itself garnered much intrigue and naive excitement from the kids, partially because it is, such a significant landmark on the journey. Also because we'd usually stop there for a bite, which was always something to look forward to. But I think it was the fact that it was such a well-traveled road that gave me my wide-eyed wonder about the place. The whole world passes through. At least that's what it seemed. And it seemed like about half of the whole world had something to do there. Gas and food and bathroom breaks and a much-needed stretching of the legs. I was eager to be among the traveling hordes. I stopped in Breezewood on my way to Ohio this time, kind of an anticipatory tribute to the coming move. I parked my truck in the parking lot of the very abandoned and decrepit Pen Air Motel and had a look out over the main thoroughfare that is Breezewood. It's not special, at least not in any objective sense, and it's certainly not the magical traveler's haven I remember. Much of it is literally falling apart. Like the Pen Air and the weeds growing through the brickwork, it's all gone to seed. The fact of the degradation of Breezewood is not a new discovery. We visited Ohio many times since we left, and we take the same route every time, but this time, as I was trying to wrap my head and my heart around the coming changes, it all hit me in a new kind of way. The highway town I once saw as a brilliant patchwork of bright lights and eager travelers is now simply a function of convenience and necessity and nothing more. Any part of it that doesn't serve that purpose well enough has turned into so much rust and rubble. And it reminds me that nothing lasts, nothing stays the same. The silent artilleries of time are relentless and undefeated. I sat in my truck for a while and simply watched as the myriad travelers made use of Breezewood, some stopping and some pushing on through. I sat in my truck and thought about all of it, the fact of change and the temptation to fear it. I thought about my truck and the load I had strapped to it somewhat precariously and how much it was like my family, the rattling and juddering and all the small quirks that only I know about, and all the hoping that the next bump doesn't snap the tie-downs and send everything flying into the big blue beyond. At the end of it all, there's really only the next step. You pray and you talk through it. You think and think and think some more. Breezewood will keep changing and the truck's still going to rattle. These things are unavoidable. But at some point, all you can do is light another cigar and put your foot on the gas.